Welcome to Roguecast, the official podcast of Rogues Gallery. We'll talk comics for the week, as well as whatever news is on our pop cultural radar. I'm Randy.
I'm Nick. This is Dave.
And now, on with the show.
Hello and welcome to another Roguecast. I got nothing this week. It's like, no big weather talk. No big.
It's just
the weather
got cold.
It did briefly,
and then it's already like warm during the day. But yeah,
it's
Well, let's move past it. We don't even need to work up the banter. We're just going to talk about the cool new games that have arrived this week.
For example, Terrible Quest. That's TEAR.
Oh, like you tear a paper.
You tear a piece of paper. So this is kind of a fun-looking game. It is. I think it's an all-ages one. You equip yourself with weapons, fend off boss monsters, and loot gleaming treasure chests. And what you're doing is you're tearing pieces of paper off this map and getting stuff.
Okay, I don't quite get how that works.
It's a little weird, but it looks fun, and it's a cheap game. I think it's like $10.
I remember I was logging that into the system, and when I was pasting in like the description and stuff like that, I was like, I do remember it sounded interesting. It sounded kind of cool and different. And If it allows kids to tear in a way that is controlled and productive and is not other important things, then yay extra.
So it also it's timed. You get a sheet, and then you reveal the goal card. For example, the goal might show 2 swords and a cyclops. Then you get 2 minutes to tear off the exact icon shown on the card and no extras. So you have to tear the right piece of paper.
That's hilarious. It sounds like a fun and chaotic game.
There are also bonuses and curses on the back of your paper, so you can hold your paper up to the light to see if you get bonuses.
Oh wow!
Yeah, looks like fun. A light, quick between games game.
Yeah.
We got the new Starfinder Alien Core, which is 200 aliens for the new Starfinder 2nd Edition.
Are these monsters, or are these playable character races? Okay. So it's their creature compendium, their monster manual. They're cool. That stuff is always super fun, and I will have to look through it because I always like looking through the Starfinder stuff.
Speaking of monster manuals, Pathfinder Monster Core 2 comes out, which is a new, almost 400-page hardcover with a whole bunch of new creatures and stuff.
Nice.
Starfinder.
That's Pathfinder.
That's Pathfinder Monster Core 2.
Core 2. Okay.
There's also a Starfinder GM screen, really nice art. And the pocket edition of Pathfinder Battlecry, which is their war.
Yeah.
We got a game called Refuge, a push-your-luck game where you embark on peaceful nature walks by collecting tiles, avoiding storms, and racing back to safety before the weather turns.
Oh, that sounds kind of fun. Was this game made for me?
Yeah, I think it is. Good for Dave.
I'm going to be the most hardcore weather walker, get back to the house on time before you do... there ever was.
You would just stay out in the storms, though.
That is true. I do kind of like that. Every once in a while, I've made some bad calls with that, and I was like 30 minutes from home, and I was like, "Oh, that lightning is hardcore," and I'm like running through the rain like a maniac
with your umbrella.
I don't take umbrellas.
He doesn't take umbrellas. He lets the rain fall on his face.
If it's not like bitterly cold rain, then and like icy out, then I can deal with rain hitting.
It's like they said in Big Trouble in Little China, a brave man likes to feel rain on his face.
Is that what they said?
Yeah, and then it says a wise man knows to keep his face out of the rain.
Oh,
so
some deep wisdom.
Yes,
sounds like something Egg Chen might say.
I believe it was Egg Chen. We got a game called Beasts. You're working together to play every card in the deck by manipulating a shared 3-digit number. So you choose a suit, you play all the cards of that suit, but every card placed must raise the current number. And then beasts appear, and they block certain types. It seems like it's timed. It's not like timer set, but there is a certain amount of rounds you get to go.
Okay.
So it's like a challenging cooperative card game.
Let me ask, what kind of beasts are we talking here?
I don't know.
Are we talking like Greek mythology, or kind of just made up cute monsters?
I don't think they're cute.
Let's see. I'm looking at the art here.
Is there a lamia?
I don't believe there's a lamia, but there could be.
Is there a Sahwakin?
This looks like a displacer piece looking thing. It's very nice. It's very pretty art.
So maybe some D&D-esque monsters?
Yeah, that seems to be the vibe.
Okay.
I'm looking at the art, and it's very pretty. It's a very pretty looking game.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. Interesting game. Unlike other games I've heard of. It seems like a new mechanic. And then we got the Cecil.
If you can't tear stuff in it, though, that's my new standard.
You can always tear stuff. it might ruin the game, but you're always allowed to tear things.
I bought this $200 game. Was it Twilight Imperium? I bought Twilight Imperium,
and I tore
it to pieces. I won.
Best money I ever spent. Yes, if someone wants to play Twilight Imperium like a legacy game and just tear stuff up, we encourage that. To buy new copies from us all the time.
I mean, you know how they have like fusion foods?
Yes.
Let's have some fusion games. A long, deep strategy game and a game based on that tear game.
Yes.
And just
combine
them together.
Yes. Yeah. Twilight Imperium tear.
One-time
Twilight Imperium.
But people are going to read that as Tear Light.
No, I'll put a dash in it.
No, they'll still read it as tear.
You're right.
I think, yeah. That's what's the terrible thing about the English language.
Terrible.
Oh no.
The last thing we got the Sea Salt and Paper, which is a little game we saw a ton of.
Okay.
There's an extra Pepper expansion.
Oh, okay.
12 new effect cards. I've never played this game. I think I need to. We saw a ton of it.
Yeah.
And it's a little game you can put in your pocket.
Yeah.
That's games.
What would you say its tear level?
You don't tear anything. I
think it's at a 0.
What would you say its tier level?
Its tier level well, it's extra pepper. If you throw pepper in your face, you will
That's right.
tear
It
up.
actually has a tier level of 3.
Yes.
Tier level 0, tier level 3.
What tier of tear is the tier at?
Carry on.
All right. By the way, Dave, legacy games allow you to tear up stuff all the time.
That is true. That is true. And for people who haven't played Pandemic Legacy or any of these other games that do that, it is kind of wild when it happens.
Yep.
Your every instinct is going to be like, I can't destroy this game that I just spent $100 on or $70 on or whatever. But it is part of this is a one-time experience. It's by one-time experience. Most of these is like you're going to play like
12 to 20
sessions. And
also,
although I know there's ways around it, I think embracing it is the funnest.
Well, and also the legacy. At the end of the game, you're going to have the base game.
You have a game you can play. It's just your modified version.
Yeah.
Right.
But the groups that I've played with, Clank Legacy is the big one.
Yep.
And their Clank Legacy, they saved all their cards. So they put them in a bag when they're supposed to be destroyed. They put it so they have all the cards.
Yep.
And then when they did Clank Legacy 2, they started destroying cards. It is fun. What I will say is you have to be very careful that you're supposed to destroy a card because, for example, if you were to misread something in your book and tell someone to tear up a card, and then they look at it and go, "Oh, actually, you're not supposed to tear that card up," you might have to tape it all together and have a Franken card for the rest of the game. Not that has ever happened to me twice.
Interesting thing. You know what this reminds me of? There was an old episode of MASH where remember the one with the unexploded bomb?
Yes.
It lands on the outskirts of the camp, and Hawkeye has to perform surgery on it with, I think Hawkeye.
It is Hawkeye.
It is. And somebody else. And he's reading off the manual, and then he's like, blah, 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 blah. It's super tense. He's like, now cut the wire. And he's like, but first, and after the guy has already cut the wire.
Yeah.
Great moment. They survive. It's all okay. It was filled with propaganda leaflets.
Yes.
but yeah, that Randy, you Hawkeyed it.
I did Hawkeye it.
Thanks for spoiling.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right. Comics this week. Dave's going to fight me on saying this is one of the weirdest comics I've read this year, but this is one of the weirdest comics I've read this year.
I say it is only normal JMS levels of weird, but I think we both found it fairly entertaining.
Yeah, the book is 1776 #1, and
this is a Marvel comic.
It's a Marvel comic,
and on the cover you're going to see kind of like the Avengers, but a few other Marvel heroes, Spider-Man and Invisible Woman,
as well
and
as George Washington,
fathers,
Benjamin Franklin,
and
some old white guy I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know, Andrew Jackson, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe, they mentioned Benedict Arnold in this, and I believe he's going to play an unexpected role.
Maybe that's Benedict Arnold.
If I were to just quick summarize this, I would say, I won't say who the threat is, not that it's really amazing reveal.
It's a standard Avengers villain.
But a standard type Avengers villain has concocted a plot that involves trying to get the British to win the Revolutionary War, and the heroes are like, we got to go stop this.
And the reason they know about it
what is the reason they know about it?
Is because the ghost of Benjamin Franklin comes to find them.
That's true.
But the book's not weird.
I'd say that's standard Marvel weird. Like I pointed out, what is it? I think it's Fantastic Four number
Number
3 or 4.
Number 3 or 4. Yep.
The first appearance of Dr. Doom, in which the Thing also becomes Blackbeard.
Canonically is Blackbeard.
Is Blackbeard.
I'm not saying it's the weirdest thing Marvel's ever done. I'm saying it's in their weird vibes.
What's interesting to me about this, and what I kind of liked about it, is that JMS clearly has done his Revolutionary War research.
For sure, yeah.
Likes, for instance, a character like writing Ben Franklin.
For all you know, he goes to reenactments. He does the reenactment.
It's possible.
Captain America is one of the heroes sent back, and if you would think Captain America knows American history, you're correct. This is a lot of fun, and also, this is a book where if someone's trying to get their kid to learn American history, you're like, well, Spider-Man's in it, and also there's American history. This is going to do that job.
So, my favorite scene in it, although it's kind of a slightly weird take on Bruce Banner, it feels a little bit like, he looks youngish, maybe that's just how Ron Lim draws him, but he's a bit like, I feel like the Professor Hulk kind of Banner.
Right. Oh, it's not Ron Lim, by the way. It's
him in the second.
Oh, you're right. He
does the other part. Yeah. He literally raises his hand while Doctor Strange is briefing them on what they're going to do, and he's like, question. He's like, just to play devil's advocate for a second, would it really be so bad if Britain won the war? And Spider-Man's like, what about slavery to start? And then Banner is like, fires right back. He's like, Brits abolished slavery in 1833. Slavery wasn't abolished in the U.S. until 1865.
Yep.
And he's like, look, I'm not saying we shouldn't do this.
He makes a good case for it, though.
He makes a good case. He also points out, he's like, and this will kind of show you some of the depth from JMS. He says, look, former colonies like Canada and Australia, they came out okay in the end. Along the way, the British did a lot of awful things, as did the states during the push west.
Yep.
So he's like, we have a legacy that also includes genocide, native genocide, and stuff like that, and he calls it out. So,
Dave, this is one of those woke books.
It's actually just straight history stuff.
Yeah, that's woke, actually.
I'm sorry to say, reality is woke.
Reality's woke.
But yes, it is an interesting and weird book. I don't love Ron Lim's artwork. He was fine for the second half of what do you call it? Infinity Gauntlet?
Yeah.
Those 30-ish years ago.
His stuff here reminded me more of Mark Bagley's stuff, actually.
Yeah. A little bit. He's not untalented.
Yeah.
I just, he's past his heyday, I think.
If we put that quote on the book. Not untalented.
Past his heyday. But look, this, in some ways, this was my most entertaining book of the week. I liked other stuff, but I also found this the most entertaining. And part of it was its quirks and JMS-edness. Yep. He also wrote the second issue of Spider-Man Torn this week, which I liked that first one more than y'all did, I think. But the second one was just okay, and this one was the one I liked.
Yeah, so, this was fun. It reminds
JMS is an interesting flavor for people who haven't, like Babylon 5. We always mention that he's the Babylon 5 guy,
which is now 30 years old.
He also had a big run on Spider-Man that unfortunately was great at first and kind of tapered harshly at the end.
Yeah.
Because of, at least somewhat because of editorial interference.
Right.
But he is a quirky writer who has a voice, and sometimes I quite enjoy that voice, and sometimes his quirks get to me. But I have to say, this is one of those where I was more on board than not. and I think people should give it a shot.
The big DC book for this week is Batman Static Beyond. This is in Elseworlds. It takes place in Batman Beyond's time.
Oh, Randy, I did look it up because we were trying to figure this out earlier.
Yes.
So in an episode of Static, not Justice League Unlimited or Batman Beyond or whatever, in an episode of Static, he went to Batman Beyond's future. So he went when he was a kid. But this is now with him, the age he would be when
he's aged up. Yes, he's an adult.
He's got cool, graying dreadlocks and stuff.
And he's so basically they're trying to prove themselves worthy of entering the Combine, I think is what it's called. The alien cooperative that Icon comes from.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that. I forgot that was the name of it.
Yeah, it's not the Combine. It's something like that. It's the cooperative or something like that.
Combine actually sort of sounds right now that you said it.
It's the cooperative.
Oh, okay.
It's a big space socialist gathering, but they have to prove that they can do faster than light travel to join this group, and so they're the JLU of the future. Alongside Static and Batman Beyond and Icon are basically doing an experiment to try to do faster than light. Oh. You might not be surprised that things happen.
Is that the JLU that was the one you saw in Batman?
In Batman Beyond, indeed, yep. Micron, Flash, Warhawk, Big Barda.
Yeah, very cool.
And Superman. And then some stuff starts happening on Gotham and Dakota of the future. This is, if you're a fan of either Static Shock or Batman Beyond, you're going to dig this book.
If you were a '90s kid,
you're a '90s kid. But it's a fun first issue, and Evan Narcisse definitely gets both the characters very much right.
Nice,
cool.
There is a one-shot Predator Badlands. This is by Ethan Sachs, from a plot by Dan Trachtenberg, the director of Predator Badlands. I saw Predator Badlands. I really enjoyed it.
This is like a direct prequel to it.
We won't be talking about it this week because nobody else has seen it yet.
It's true.
But we want to.
But I really liked it, and I was excited for this prequel. This prequel is a sort of a look at the two main or the main character and some of his stuff before Predator Badlands happened.
Okay.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Godzilla. This was a ton of fun.
It was. It was a blast.
I didn't get to read this. I was making the sign for it though, and I was like trying to figure out like kind of why the crossover other than two big licenses. But it did occur to me, and maybe this is a thing in it, that they're both the product of mutation.
Yes, but
Yeah.
Nick, you read this.
Yes, and I got to like the 4th page, and somebody said something, and I'm like, "Who wrote this?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, it's Tim Seeley, who is just kind
Who
of
wrote
like
this in a good way or a
In a
bad
good
way?
in a good way because it was a really good turn of phrase."
What's funny is this: it's the same line I got to, and I'm like, "Who wrote this?" And the line is, "Pow!" Right in the truffle sniffer.
And it's full of kind of just fun ideas executed in a
Who
way.
is being punched?
Bebop.
Bebop, yes, the big over.
Okay, I was like, why would you ever say that? And I was like,
Mikey
he's a
was
pig.
was punching him in the snoz.
So
That's pretty good.
Shredder, it turns out, not Shredder, Splinter.
And Shredder.
Well, Shredder and Splinter's master. It turns out the Foot Clan was created to fight Godzilla.
Okay.
And Kaiju.
And Kaiju. And so Shredder is like Splinter tells the story.
I'm sorry to say, but I feel like one of the least effective ways to stop a Godzilla would be to send ninjas.
Well, I mean, mysticism and stuff. Yeah, sure.
I agree. They don't get into that. I do feel like this first issue does not tell us how the turtles are going to take down these kaiju.
There's an image for the next issue I saw that I feel like will reveal some, suggest some.
But this does have, in addition to kaiju, Shredder, it does have Krang. Casey Jones is in this with some Lizard Boy sidekick I didn't know he had.
It was an older from like.
Is this from the animated series?
It was a TMNT.
This feels like the animated series version of the Turtles.
Oh,
yeah.
At least one of the variant covers of it is outright has animated series Turtles on it and the animated Godzilla from the 70s on it.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's, by the way, I believe several variant covers for this that look pretty fun.
This was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I still don't know how they're going to match up, but
I gotta say, this means that like overall, Godzilla's crossovers have been pretty fun, pretty entertaining.
Yep.
And it's a good era for crossovers because then you've got the big one, Batman, Deadpool.
Yep.
And soon to be they did Deadpool, Batman, and now Batman, Deadpool coming up.
Yep.
And we've seen so many for some years now, 10 years or whatever. There've been some very good crossovers.
Yep.
Going back as far as the now out of print Star Trek Doctor Who that had Picard meeting the Doctor.
Yep.
And to Tom Taylor's Power Rangers Justice League, things you wouldn't have guessed would be as good as it was.
Batman TMNT.
It is quite a solid era, better than solid for those kind of licensed crossovers.
Die Loaded is weirdly not Die Reloaded, just Die Loaded. Is the return of Kieran Gillen and
Stephanie
Hans. They're what do you call it? Goth Jumanji?
Yes, Goth Jumanji was
the Image comic where somebody was pulled into some teens were pulled into an RPG in the 90s, and then came back with one of them like missing and presumed dead.
Yep.
Had difficult, struggling lives of deteriorating mental health,
and then they got sucked back in.
And then they get sucked back in, and there's some reveals.
And this starts with the opening of like the teenagers basically. 5 of them returned to the pandemic world in 2020.
Well, they're not teenagers; they're adults.
They're adults, yeah. But 5 of them came back. One of them died in Die again.
Yep. And this is kind of like a little bit of an epilogue.
Did you say In Die? Is that the name of the place?
In Die, which is the name of the place.
Die is the world.
So Die is the lure of an amoral god beyond time and space. Yep. And so this goes back to there's basically one of them is they transitioned, I think.
They were kind of bi to begin with.
Yes.
And in Die, they chose a different the opposite gender of what they were.
But now they're back and they are male and they are married and they have a kid and they're like they're not getting
it's handled I think really well.
Kieran Gillen is the kind of writer who can handle something like that.
But so there's his wife was basically a single mom for 2 years while he was in this dimension.
Yeah.
And he hasn't told her what happened. None of them have told them their partners.
That was kind of one of a big thing in the first series, which I didn't read all the way through.
They couldn't.
They couldn't.
Yeah, they couldn't.
I thought it was one of those things where it's like we have a secret so big that no one can know.
No, it was something that the world
like
basically
won't let them tell them.
But I think that broke here. I think they just chose to not to tell for various reasons.
Yep.
And this is sort of an epilogue issue to that previous thing. Like what happened to a lot of the group, catching you up on where they are now.
Yeah.
And then a big event happens.
Then a bunch of people get dragged in to die again.
I thought this was really exceptional. I will say it is maybe not the most user-friendly.
If you have not read Die all the way to the end, you're going to be confused.
But I would also recommend, that was only 4 trades?
Only 4 trades.
4 trades? Yeah. Pick those up. If any of what we just said, you're like, oh, that kind of sounds good. Yeah. I like D&D. I like the Goth Jumanji is a little bit of a jokingly.
Yeah, it's a one-line pitch. It's an adult version of the D&D cartoon premise.
Yeah, and it's handled extremely well. There's a lot of literary correlations that Kieran Gillen gets in. Yeah. There's lots of Lord of the Rings stuff.
If you're a gamer at all, you'll recognize a lot of what they're doing here.
Also, this week they released the QuickStart rules for the Die RPG.
In comic books, there's a big hardcover of the Die RPG.
Yes,
but this is a comic book format QuickStart RPG version of it, and really nice, really good art.
If I'm not mistaken, the way the RPG works is that you create a character both for as the like the player in the real world, and then their incarnation in the Die world,
which is cool. But yeah, if any of that sounds interesting, or if you have any of that, pick up those trades, or at least the first trade, try it out.
And I'll say this, I only read the first 2 trades of Die. Never got around to finishing it. But I found this really intriguing, even though I didn't know who everybody was.
In a funny happenstance, I think you had picked up the hardcover.
Yes.
And then never opened it.
Right.
Brought it back.
Yeah,
and I bought it. Yeah. And I loved it. It's one of those I sat down and read it all the way through. It's great.
I got the impression it wasn't the whole story, but it is, right?
It is. Okay. It's the whole story.
Yeah. Youngblood is back. Rob Liefeld, writing and drawing, with a bunch of different covers by a bunch of talented artists.
It's true.
You know right now whether this is for you or not. It is not for any of the 3 of us, so I'm not going to spend any more time on it.
It's true.
American Caper is a Dark Horse book with, I believe, art by David Lapham. Yes.
It's like a sort of quirky, gritty crime mystery and satire from one of the guys who's one of the central writers to Grand Theft Auto.
Dan Houser is the writer.
Has some Garth Ennissian violence.
It's a crime drama that's also a family comedy. It's if you like Grand Theft Auto, if you want a crimey book, this is a book for that.
There we go.
Liquidator is a new book from Mad Cave by Peter Milligan, who did a lot of stuff for Vertigo in the 90s. Artist Piotr Kowalski, who I don't know but is really good. This feels like a lost 90s Vertigo book. It is about someone who... Liquidators basically go into time and fix things that time travelers have screwed up. And it gives you PTSD. So this is about a character who is a liquidator and is basically being dragged into a job she does not want. And she winds up meeting up with a historical figure who is quite dangerous. I don't know where they're going with this, but as a setup, it's great.
Huh. I will say this, having not read it, it sounds like a much darker, more realistic take on Time Cop.
Yeah, that's not wrong. Yeah. Peter Cannon Thunderbolt is a one of these guys. He's a white man who trained in the Orient in martial arts and unlocked his full brain potential.
He's like supreme human kind of thing. I had forgotten. He's a Charlton character. But one of the Charlton characters who didn't become one of the Watchmen.
No,
characters.
he is. This is Ozymandias.
Oh, I thought that. How is it that I read his Wikipedia entry and it didn't say that?
I don't know.
That's like a big part of it.
Peter Cannon Thunderbolt is 100% Ozymandias.
Okay, that makes sense because Ozymandias is trained to perfection.
Yep.
Anyway, this is the latest incarnation from Fred Van Lente, a writer we've liked before.
Yep, it's done a lot of good stuff.
Doing trying to take that origin, and I'm sure kind of also take it a little bit away from that cliche of the white savior. Oh, I learned the secrets of the East better than they could know it. That kind of thing. But at the same time, I don't think they wanted to remove the Tibet thing. In fact, one of the things I read in it was interesting, that the group that trained him turned out to be like one of those like suicide cults.
Oh,
yeah.
And so they're clearly upending some of that, and I don't know what the overall hook is, and if it's any good, but I was like, oh, that sounds kind of interesting and subversive.
Okay.
X-Men Tales from the Age of Apocalypse is a reprint of 4 of the first issues from the original Age of Apocalypse. Astonishing X-Men, Amazing X-Men, Factor X, and Weapon X. Writers Larry Hama, Scott Lobdell, Fabian Nicieza, John Francis Moore. Art by Joe Madureira, Adam Kubert, Andy Kubert, and Steve Epting. This is that era a lot of people really like. If you've not read it, but you've been intrigued by Age of Apocalypse, this is a good way to get a sampling of it. We've got a bunch of like second issues this week. So, Author Immortal #2, which I know y'all liked.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to read it, but I thought the first one was good.
Yeah. This was a struggling writer finds out he's being asked to ghostwrite a revival of like his favorite series, but it's now owned by somebody who's clearly a J.K. Rowling type person.
Right.
With all of the problems that comes with, and he has to make both moral decisions while at the same time also being possibly like drawn into the fictional world of the characters.
Oh, is J.K. Rowling problematic in some way?
They are quite on the nose with it. It's actually the same issue in this one.
Yeah. The long-awaited City Beneath Her Feet #2, which is a distillery book by James Tinian and who's the artist?
Elsa Chartier.
Delayed presumably by all the leaving Diamond and all that stuff.
Thing, yeah.
Had a banger first issue. I didn't get a chance to read this one, but I think I'm gonna read it in trade. But
okay, yeah.
It's gorgeous artwork. I love it.
For those of you who were following it before, though, it's pretty notable that it finally is out.
Yep. Strange Tales #2, which was the Marvel sort of RPG-based one.
Yeah, it is like it's holiday times, and it's a mini-series about Marvel's magic users.
Yep.
Well, at least the first issue was. I guess there's not as much, or maybe any.
It still takes place on Halloween in Doctor Strange's brownstone.
Right. The first issue focused on Nico. What's her full name?
I don't remember.
Nico from Runaways, and Scarlet Witch. And the second one is Spider-Gwen and Doctor Strange. There's actually some very fun stuff in it. I don't know if I didn't like it as much as the first issue.
Me neither, but it's still fun.
The bit where Spider-Gwen is like because something magic happened, is essentially a ghost.
Yes.
And they are having to try and communicate in Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum.
That's fun.
Is very fun. And there's a bunch of other cool stuff in it. But yeah, if you like Marvel's magic users, this is a miniseries that's going to showcase them in a mostly lighthearted but not completely lighthearted way. There's still a serious story.
Ignition Press has Roots of Madness #2, which I like the first issue of that quite a bit. And Mad Cave has Gunpowder Prophets #2, which is a pair of sort of bounty hunters are rescuing a girl from her parents' Christian slash satanic cult.
Oh, okay.
And in this issue, they're in a
Usually
car.
You're one or the other.
Yeah. In this issue, they're in a car and they're being chased down by Heaven's Devils, a motorcycle gang that is working for her dad, and these two kind of badasses fight them. It is a whole issue in which there's a car and a bunch of motorcycles and fights and smashing. It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
Gargoyles times Fantastic Four #1. This is the Dynamite version of the Marvel Dynamite crossover.
Yeah. I was confused at first when I saw it because I was like, oh, I thought they did the one shot, but I didn't realize
it's
much
just
like
Deadpool, Batman,
Deadpool. They did the same thing.
Transformers #26, the second issue of Kirkman's run on Transformers. Was a lot of fun.
Really good.
And an interesting spotlight on a Thundercracker, I believe. The Decepticon, what do they call them? What do they call their flyers? The Seekers. A Decepticon Seeker who has some sympathy for the Autobots, while at the same time is working to like bust out Skywarp, who had been like kind of integrated into the Ark.
Yep.
Like they had like to keep him alive, they had to like kind of plug him in, but it was also seemed like it was like looked torturous.
Well, the Decepticons put him in there because they weren't going to fix him, but they could fix the robot that could fix other people.
Right.
Yeah.
So they were just like using him.
But really a good spotlight for Thundercracker and some of the other stuff. So good issue.
Red Hulk comes to an end with #10. I've actually really enjoyed this Red Hulk, and it is going to lead directly into the post One World Under Doom stuff.
Cool. Okay.
Their status quo for for Red Hulk, Thunderbolt Ross in this is very interesting.
Oh, okay.
Eddie Brock Carnage comes to an end with number 10. We've really all liked this book and has a pretty notable last page reveal.
It does. I'm sad to see it go because this is like one of my favorite reads when I read it.
Well, it's clearly going to lead into Venom.
They put Carnage, who is Eddie Brock in this, into a rough situation in this where he is essentially locked down, chained up, and stuff like that. And the serial killer Muse, a sort of lesser-known Marvel villain who's been reinterpreted in a really threatening way in this.
Isn't Charles Soule
invented him? He created him for Daredevil.
Is it new for this? Oh, okay.
He created him for Daredevil.
But he created him in Daredevil.
Yeah, Soule created him for Daredevil, and he used him again here.
Yeah.
I thought this was actually, weirdly, a better execution of...
Agreed. I actually thought this was better than his original story.
Well, he's had time to think on it, I'm sure, and figure out what to work with and what doesn't. But it's interesting to put Carnage in such a dangerous place as he is in this issue, and some very interesting stuff happens in it.
He's going to be seen again in Venom. Venom is now just Venom number 251 instead of All New Venom, but it is still focusing on Mary Jane as the Venom symbiote and Joe Robertson.
It still has the supporting cast of people who were the suspects.
Luke Cage and Rick Jones all involved.
My favorite scene in this was kind of early on, or one of my favorite scenes, where Mayor Luke Cage is there's like a government task force is like, hey, we have an anti-symbiote. I'm like the president's council on symbiotes. And we've got our specialist brought in who's Dr. Octopus. He's going to be running things for us. Essentially we've kind of cleared him. He's done his time or whatever. And Luke Cage is like, F you. And at the same time, Luke Cage has some questions. He thinks he knows who the new Venom is, and he thinks Robbie knows, which Robbie does know. Yeah. But who he thinks it is wrong. And seeing them talking and having lunch and trying to get it out of Robbie, and Robbie trying to be the journalist who protects sources and all this stuff is very interesting. And then, of course, there's Venom stuff in it.
Dave, can you imagine a world in which the mayor of New York is having conflicts with the federal government?
And they're like trying to strong arm him,
right? Yeah, and if they were they were employing criminals,
right? And he's just trying to do the right thing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
Marvel's so weird.
Yeah.
Also, I liked the stuff that Venom was doing in this. I like the kind of disguising himself.
He tries to he fakes being Iron Man instead. And it's pretty good.
And there's a gag that I love.
Yes. There's a crazy thing that happens.
There's some fun stuff. Age of Revelation continues this week with the second issues of Sinister 6. Rogue Storm and Iron and Frost.
Yep.
Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, sequel series. That's number 4 this week.
There's a brutal incident in the middle of this one that made me almost wince. That was like, it's not even a killing; it's an accident that happens to somebody.
Yep. Fantastic Four number 5 is a spotlight on Black Cat.
This cover is great. It shows Black Cat is like tiptoeing cartoon style with like a bag of loot, including a Herbie robot, through the FF, and she's about to walk right into an invisible Sue Storm.
So the plot of this is kind of fun. Black Cat's basically been accused of a murder.
Framed.
Yep.
Framed that she didn't do it, and she calls Sue for help. And the funny thing is, Sue hates her.
Yeah.
And there's no reason given. Like, Sue just she talks with Alicia about why, and it's a new interpretation. Like, as far as I know, Sue's not really met Black Cat much in the comics.
Other than she did date Johnny. At some point.
Okay, yeah.
Sue dated Johnny, messed up.
No.
But it's a fun Sue Storm Black Cat focus and another single issue problem solution. Clever thing that Ryan North's been doing for a long time.
And Ryan North had me at the end. The last page just killed me.
I'll check it out. Yeah, Sue basically, or what do you call it? Black Cat ultimately gets her on the trail of solving her mystery reluctantly, right? That's the deal.
Yep.
So it's Sue Storm Mystery Solver.
Yep. Gotham by Gaslight League for Justice hits issue 5. Still really enjoying that book. Superman the Kryptonite Spectrum number 4. It features the fifth dimensional imps of Mxyzptlk and Batmite.
The craziest, most Grant Morrisonian issue.
It really is.
But it also kind of calls back other issues, and it's almost like it's meta and it's out of sync with time, and it's fascinating, but it is bonkers.
Yeah, it's a fun book. I really like it.
Yeah.
Children of the Round Table number 3. Continuing to enjoy this. I think it's getting better and better as it goes along. It's only a 6-issue miniseries. It is weirdly, there's not much DC Universe stuff in it.
And we were thinking that it's possible that they just basically Tom Taylor is his star is rising these days, and that he had like an all ages kind of Knights of King Arthur sort of story to tell, and he's like, "Hey DC, do you want to publish it? I like you guys. You guys are good to me," and they said yes.
So this basically all these kids have discovered that they have weapons that are inhabited by the spirits of the Knights of the Round Table.
Yep.
They're being chased down by this organized military organization that is like Mordred. And this issue, they are introduced to their Merlin. Okay. And it's a good take on him. It's fun. It's magic and fun and adventure, and I'm enjoying it. G.I. Joe Real American Hero. I've talked about this book that's Larry Hama's continuation.
This is like the continuation of the original 1980s G.I. Joe.
Except that it's 322 issues in, and it's gotten a little weird. There are zombies.
Beyond
there
weird.
There are robots.
Yeah. But you know what? This issue was actually on the lower weird side.
It is. So the art in this is Paul Pelletier, who, by the way, is one of the best artists to work on G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
And I think, Dave, you and I, as kids, never really appreciated what we had with
a bunch of good artists.
The artists doing it. Yeah. But this is definitely the highest level of art that G.I. Joe's had, and it's a lot of fun. This issue is 2 G.I. Joe teams, the Snow Team and the Desert Team.
Yep.
Going up against Cobra is building their terror drones in like these far-flung in a desert.
This goes back to an early 90s idea that Hama had, that basically Cobra franchises these sort of. They can sell them out as cheap, easily fabricated stations.
The desert is called Satan's Anvil. In Benzene. And the frozen place in Frozenland.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are like going in for recon. They're not supposed to engage. Things go wrong.
Yep.
And you get this jumping back and forth, which Hama does really well.
He's very good at that.
Like one page is the desert, the next page is the frost, and they're on similar missions.
Yeah.
It's a really good... If you haven't been reading G.I. Joe, this is actually a really good single issue.
Yeah, crazy ideas, but like the sort of military tactics and the way that they use their vehicles and stuff like this are actually well thought out.
Yeah.
It's what people go to Hama for.
Yeah, there are ninjas, and yes, there are robots, but it's pretty strong military action.
That's right.
And Batman number 162, next part of Hush finally comes out.
Yep.
No surprise, it's running a little late.
As predicted.
And then Absolute Batman number 12 has a new printing. We're getting those in as we can, but a lot of the Absolute Batman stuff is out. We're just trying to get them as the reprints come in. Mm-hmm. I believe we have 10, 11, and 12 now.
Okay.
A lot of trades this week. It's another trades on the table week.
Before you get to the trades, I'm going to quick throw out something, although it's trade related.
Okay.
Though we don't get much of this for the shelf, I wanted to recommend Supergirl this week.
Oh, yeah.
Even if it's like, if I'm sort of advanced recommending the trade paperback.
I know. I've read and really like Supergirl. It's not in my stack. Did you steal it?
No, but I don't think we have a whole lot of copies for it.
Oh, that's why. Yeah.
Is the thing. That's why I'm sort of recommending this really more for the trade, or if you happen to get in before we sell out of the single issues. Yeah. But this is like a Thanksgiving issue. And it's like this is a bit of a cozy book.
Yep.
The threats that are not super high in it. It's there are dangers, but it's more these kind of collection of misfit girls and friends. There's Supergirl, her evil counterpart, who's kind of trying to reform. Lena Luthor, who's kind of like her goth friend, basically. Yep. And a couple super pets in the mix.
Yep.
And anyway, it's written by Sophie Campbell, who comes from Indie Comics.
And written and drawn.
Oh yeah, and I've really loved her artwork on it. But it is it was a series I did not plug into originally because it felt a little too Silver Age or early Bronze Age callback, and it is indeed rooted in that. And I was like, oh well, I kind of want a more serious comic. But it's won me over time, and if you can enjoy a sort of lighter, kind of a cozy comic with those kind of themes in it, very fun. This one, there's like the A story is sort of Supergirl going to on an underwater adventure.
Yep.
She's actually been turned into like a mermaid.
Yes,
she's like a mermaid.
She is turned into a mermaid by Princess Shark.
And Princess Shark is a sort of enemy turned ally in this, and they have to work together to deal with a sea hag issue.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of the Supergirl issues have been this, because Lena is Lex Luthor's niece or whatever.
Yep.
The other girl was posing as Supergirl.
Right.
There's a lot of Supergirl doesn't fight her villains. She befriends them and makes their life better.
Wins them over.
It's a very sweet, like you say, it's sort of a cozy book.
Yep.
If you want a realistic Supergirl book, there is the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which is much of a darker take.
Right. But it's the one that is like by Tom King and is going to probably be the big influence on the movie.
But I like that we're getting both.
It was bold of DC to take a chance on that. And I'm really enjoying it. And the B plot involves kind of like getting Lena Luthor, sort of goth girl who doesn't want to have anything to do with Thanksgiving, to participate in Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Anyway, delightful issue. By the way, I just love how Princess Shark and like all that undersea stuff is drawn. Sophie Campbell makes it look super cool. So trade paperbacks.
Yes. Blood and Thunder Volume 1. This is the Frankenstein Skybound, the sci-fi.
Yep.
Invincible Universe Battle Beast Volume 1, which that's the first
That's
6
a big
issues.
one.
Management recommends.
Yeah, we all like that. It's a fun book.
Yeah, and people have been buying the hell out of Invincible for like the last several years, inspired largely by the success of the animated thing, and finally some actual new material. So
we got the deluxe edition of Friday, the Ed Brubaker, Marcos Martin Christmas time supernatural mystery.
The story of a character who's almost like was a YA and novel investigator type kid, like an Encyclopedia Brown,
and his sidekick
girl
was unrequited love with him,
but then very much gone through the Brubaker mixer of what if they grew up, got in a relationship together, it didn't work out, she's called back years later.
What if he was murdered?
on a mystery, and
there was some Cthulhu,
and then you proceed into some supernatural territory,
All of this with spectacular art by Marcos Martin.
And this is in its larger format, because the original format was kind of digest size. This is a no-brainer.
I picked this up. I'm excited to get it. This is... Brubaker can basically do no wrong for me when it comes to his creator-owned stuff.
And it's like a snowy thing. You should get it for the holidays.
Yep. We all recommend it.
For me, this is the best Brubaker.
Peak Brubaker.
Injustice, Gods Among Us Compendium 2, which is one of these big chunks of Injustice, which is a series we really liked.
Yep. The Injustice, that is based on the video game and all that stuff. The early Tom Taylor work.
Transformers Volume 4. This is right up to the end of J. Warren Johnson.
Yep.
Those have been doing really well. Masters of the Universe, TMNT, Turtles of Grayskull. We talked about how the various crossovers with the Turtles and Godzilla have been good.
It had art by, oh my gosh, that guy, he draws a lot of these crossovers. He did
Freddie Williams?
Freddie Williams, I think he did this
was
one.
it also Tim
I believe
Seeley?
this is also a Tim Seeley.
Yep.
He is cornering the market.
Yep. He's always been a He-Man guy.
I was going to say, he always a He-Man.
This was fun because you had like the Turtles in like He-Man armor and stuff like that.
Yes.
The Minor Arcana Volume 2, that's Jeff Lemire's weird small town magic book.
Small town, tarot is a scam, or is it? Kind of story. I never finished this one because I lost track of the single issues, but I was really liking it, so I will probably pick up these collections.
There's no writer better who can do a small town.
Oh my god. He talk about cornering the market on it.
Yeah, totally.
Jim
Starlin's Dreadstar Omnibus, 500 pages. This is a big page. So this is some
big 70s, 80s superhero sci-fi.
The creator of
stuff.
Thanos, Drax, Gamora, the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
This is his story about...
it was like his creator-owned project, kind of.
Vanth Dreadstar is the last survivor of the Milky Way, and his crew are supposed to stop the galaxy from being destroyed by an alien species that has destroyed numerous galaxies.
Yeah, Jim Starlin sort of had he had a brand, and his brand was like kind of weird misfits. There's always like there was kind of like godlike aliens, but also like people like Star Fox who were like roguish type characters, or Pimp the Troll.
Yep.
And Dreadstar was a place where he could kind of do that without some of the restrictions of working for Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
But if you like that stuff, if you like Cosmic Marvel, then you should, and you never checked out Dreadstar back in its 80s, 90s heyday, then this is a great place.
Super Sons Complete Volume 2 by Peter Tomasi. I believe this completes his run on the young Jonathan Kent, Damian Wayne team-ups.
Yep.
a Doctor Doom Epic Collection. I believe has a lot of early Doctor Doom stuff in it.
Oh, cool.
Wolverine: The Ultimate Guide. This is one of those DK books, fancy, oversized hardcover.
Yep.
All the, encyclopedia type thing. It has a fun thing where the cover has 3 slashes in it so you can see the cover through
Oh,
it.
yeah.
That's fun.
It's yellow. It's a big yellow book.
Sure.
And then compact editions, the independent company Vault has gotten on the the compact editions after DC's done them of Money Shot, their Space Aliens and Sex book.
Yep.
These Savage Shores and Witchblood. So cheap collections of interesting indie books with really strong artwork.
You said Witchblood, not Witchblade.
Witchblood.
Okay.
So what you're telling me, this was a Tim Seeley Wednesday? I don't know how you...
definitely.
I don't
it definitely
think
is a Tim Seeley Wednesday.
But,
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right.
Feeling Seeley. I'm trying to get I need.
You keep workshopping.
Yeah, workshop it.
We'll get there.
Seeley Putty Day.
All right, we're gonna take a break and then we're gonna talk about some trailers and some news. Okay, we got a couple trailers. They're both reveal teasers, but interesting stuff to mention. Stranger Things is about to have its final season.
Yep.
We watched the trailer for that last time. I'm pretty hyped for it.
Yeah, I'm too.
But the Duffer Brothers are planning to do something afterwards in 2026 called Stranger Things Tales from 85, a animated series that's going to take place between seasons 2 and 3.
Kind of a lost story.
Kind of lost stories. We noticed a couple things. One, the Duffer Brothers are very young.
Yeah, that's true.
They look younger than the kids.
They do look younger than the kids.
And that also, they're nothing. It's gonna be nothing you expect, and in fact, it looks like exactly what you'd expect.
Yeah, it's kind of like further adventures of kids on bikes.
And Demogorgon.
Yeah,
Demogorgon.
it's little small stuff.
But the art is really good, and the style is really good.
Right.
I might be interested in seeing this.
If you want to think about the Bad Batch kind of animation, I would say,
Yeah.
it sort of had that sort of lush look to it.
But
you guys love that Jurassic Park thing.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun.
So an animated series based around Stranger Things seems like it could work.
Yeah, I think 100%.
None of the voices are coming back.
The only thing is that the kids, basically it sort of seemed like they had kind of one big adventure every year or two in their lives. And I'm like, it's a little weird if you kind of find out, they actually had a whole bunch of side adventures and they actually fought about 20 different creatures. But I'll be curious to see what they come up with. I think they're going to want to try and make it work within the continuity.
Yeah. Well, they said they thought they had a story there, and they were not sure how they could do it because the kids have grown up.
Yeah.
Haven't a lot of the Dark Horse comics been kind of
they've kind of explored this kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't have particular interest in it, but this I'm interested in, and also I'm surprised this isn't between the final season and the season before because 18 months passed in there.
Yeah.
And that's the whole time it's gonna be locked.
I think it's the heyday of the kids when they were on their bikes.
Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Can't be on the bikes now. They're watched over by the military.
No. Right, and also their knees would creak with age.
That's right. Now they got
70.
No, some of these people are as old as 21.
Yes. The other teaser we got was for Toy Story 5, which I should be more skeptical of Toy Story, but they've made. Basically, there was no reason to do. Toy Story was a really good, almost perfect movie.
Yeah.
And then the sequels have all been good.
Yeah.
2 is arguably better than 1. 3 is dark, is kind of a dark finale.
It was good.
And then 4, they got rid of Andy, brought in a new girl, and the toys passed along to her, and that shouldn't have worked, but it did.
It did.
And so they've made it work numerous times. So, Toy Story 5, sure, go ahead. And their premise for this is that. Basically,
let's just quick say, but the way this trailer, the teaser is structured, is that a package has arrived at the house, and all the toys are gathered around it and are clearly nervous, shaking in their boots, at whatever is in it. And we in the very last few seconds we finally see it open and removed. And Randy,
it's an iPad type.
It's
thing.
Like a learning game.
It's a kid's pad.
It's it's their leap pad.
They call it a lily pad. It has a little frog framework on around it. And it's hi, I'm Lilypad. And
then it's like the age of toys is over or something like that.
Yeah.
Which, that's a really smart thing to do. That's a smart thing to explore with those characters. So I feel like this is kind of like, stay with me here.
Yep.
This is kind of like Scream.
Yep, sure.
Where there's 2 trilogies. And I wouldn't have thought you could do another trilogy, but it turns out the second trilogy is better.
Right.
I don't think that's going to happen. But you could do a Bonnie trilogy of Toy Story and it all works.
Yeah, it's true.
They are on that, right? This would be the second of the Bonnie trilogy.
One, yeah.
Is if we
The
want to
third
look
one
at that
will
way.
appear in 2032.
Yeah.
And actually features Ghostface.
Yes.
Do you know that I have only seen Toy Story 1 and 2?
I do.
Yeah, that's a true thing. I always say, like, maybe I should watch past this.
I don't blame you. They're both really good, but seriously, 3 and 4 are good movies. Not just good movies, they're great movies.
Yeah, 3 is legit great.
3 is legit great.
I don't know if y'all have ever seen this kind of a fun clip. Tarantino.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
That is like what he considers one of the most perfect trilogies ever is the original one.
Yeah.
And I think he's like, I wish they hadn't gone back to it, but I think had to confess that the fourth one was also good.
It really works. It shouldn't, but it does. I'm curious. Okay, 2 bits of news for HBO Max and DC Comics.
Okay.
V for Vendetta has a TV series in the works.
That actually sounds interesting. You know, the original graphic novel, well, it was not a graphic novel originally, it was serialized in, I forget, one of those British, it wasn't 2000 AD, it was something else.
Guardian or something like that?
Yeah, one of those other ones.
Yeah.
And but it was serialized, and so a serial TV story of it, expansion on it, further adventures of whatever it is, makes some sort of sense. Yep. Now, I don't know... You would probably only really be interested in that story during a time when there was like a rise of fascism in the world.
Yep.
So
I don't know why would we be interested in
so
that
I don't
right
know
now.
how it would relate to our current era.
Right, yes.
What did you guys think of the movie adaptation?
I actually really like the movie.
Yeah. Wasn't that the
Good, but a
Wachowskis?
little bit Wachowski-ish. They, lots of slow-mo and stuff like that. A little heavy-handed at times. But pretty well done.
So... I'm looking at IMDb because I'm trying to figure out anything. V for Vendetta TV show. The article says the writer is a Pete Jackson. It's not Peter Jackson, but there are several Pete Jacksons on IMDb. None of them have it credited to him, so I don't know which Pete Jackson it is. I don't know what his other stuff is.
Just as on a sort of theoretical level, the last
Warrior is the anthology, by the way.
There you go. They previously, HBO has did a Watchmen miniseries, which was a sequel to Watchmen that should not have worked. Alan Moore is generally right to be skeptical of adaptations and side stories
but that show
and
is
prequels.
Great.
But that show was very good.
That show was great.
No. Randy's right in this.
That was legitimately great.
Greatness to it.
No, that was a great show. It was
greatness to it.
It was among the best things HBO's done.
But Randy's a whore for who's the creator on that one?
David Lindelof? I am absolutely not a David Lindelof whore.
Yeah, you were a whore for him on that one, though.
I was.
No, but they shouldn't have been able to pull it off, and they did. And so, something like this, which could just sound like, it's just a financial grab, it's just a money thing.
No, I think
maybe they can pull it off.
I think this makes a lot of sense to do as a TV show.
And if you've never read V for Vendetta, there was a DC Compact that was released last week, and for $10 you get the whole thing.
Yep,
that's true.
The other bit of news is that they are working on a series called DC Crime.
I like the sound of this.
Which is basically a true crime series done by Jimmy Olsen in universe, and the first subject will be Gorilla Grodd.
Yep. Is that like the whole first season?
I believe that's the first season, yes.
But one presumes that there will be at least dabbling with some other stuff throughout. Do we know like what the context is? Is like Jimmy doing a podcast, or is he like tracking down Grodd or making a documentary or what?
I don't think we know.
I don't know if we know any of that.
We don't really know much.
Okay,
but it's
I
a
have
fun
to say,
idea.
I like this idea.
Yeah,
the guy who played Jimmy in Superman was kind of hilariously.
Good,
the creator is the guys who did American Vandal.
Oh, American Vandal's fantastic, and they've done something else notable.
So that makes me really cool.
So the guys who did American Vandal also worked on something notable. Let me see if I can find it real quick. That is like I think superhero adjacent or something.
But they know how to do that kind of mockumentary, kind of style.
And like I said, Jimmy Olsen in the new Superman movie was to me kind of like a Pete Davidson kind of. Incarnation of him, would you say, Nick?
Yes, they did Players.
Yeah, no, but they worked on Dropout.
Okay.
They've written for Dropout, and they've done some other stuff. Yeah,
I think one of the interesting things that seems like it might define DC under James Gunn is that they are not doing what you expect with these characters.
Yeah, they're doing weird stuff.
Superman, like, who would have guessed that it would have been both like sort of an incisive, even like political story at times, while at the same time bringing back Silver Age crypto in it.
Yeah.
And at the same time, finding like doing a comic accurate Guy Gardner and Mr. Terrific and all that stuff. I'm like, that was very unexpected. Clayface is going to be unexpected. Whatever this Green Lantern show is when it comes out, it's probably going to be not quite what we think.
Yeah, I know.
Peacemaker is part of the puzzle in there too. It's
Peacemaker
weird.
Was a bonker second season. It was good.
But there's I kind of appreciate that DC is surprising me.
Yeah, same. I'm kind of liking it. All right, let's take a quick break, and then we're going to talk about a couple movies, maybe TV shows, with light spoilers, because Dave hasn't seen most of them yet. All right, it's just me and Nick, so we're going to spend the next 20 minutes just shit-talking Dave.
It's true, we killed him. But now we will shit-talk him.
No, Dave has not seen all the movies that we've seen recently.
And this is one of the rare times where he actually cared about spoilers,
yes,
so we decided it was probably a good idea.
We kicked him out.
It's true.
So let's start off, Nick, with Black Phone 2.
Yep.
Which, I watched Black Phone as part of my Halloween. We talked about that a couple weeks ago.
I rewatched it too, knowing that I wanted to see the second one, so...
And what do you think about the second one? I've seen people say that thought the second one was better than the first one. I don't know if I agree with that.
I don't agree with that. I think the first one is definitely the stronger of the two. I think the second one is very good.
It expands on the mythology.
Yeah.
It does a really good... The characters have grown up a little bit.
Yeah, it kind of ties a bow to their story.
Yes.
Which I think is really interesting, and they do it in interesting ways. I didn't quite know where they were going with it.
Right.
So I was in.
So the premise of the first one is a kid with some kind of low-level psychic powers.
Yep.
And his sister who has, like, psycho precognition powers.
Yep.
Just like her mother did, which caused her to kill herself, which caused their father to become kind of abusive and checked out. This kid gets kidnapped by the Grabber, Ethan Hawke in a big stone gargoyle-looking mask.
It's true. It's kind of a freaky look.
Who locks him in a basement with a black phone where he has basically tortured and killed other kids.
Yep.
The black phone rings, and this kid picks up, and he can talk to the ghosts of these kids because
that's his ability.
That's his ability.
He can kind of like talk to the dead.
So, but only through phones. They're not connected to anything. And so he escapes and kills the Grabber. Spoilers for Black Phone 1.
Yeah.
Black Phone 2, the Grabber's back.
Somehow.
As like a ghost.
It's
Actually,
true.
it's like a demon from hell.
Yeah, it's a demon from hell. He's kind of been released. But there's more to the story.
They're drawn to this camp where the Grabber maybe started his career as a killer.
And they have ties.
They go out there, and it's in Colorado, so they get snowed in, and they're stuck. By the way, I lived in Colorado this period. I remember this blizzard.
Oh, okay.
I believe this was the blizzard. Maybe before I lived there. I think this was when my dad got snowed in when he was visiting for work. Like, I remember this. So this blizzard is not invented.
Okay.
There was a blizzard this year that basically shut down Colorado.
Oh, wow.
It's like 1982.
I didn't know that. I didn't know they were kind of drawing
they drew on a real thing. But so they're stuck. There's this frozen lake and a phone booth out there, and the phone booth starts ringing. Yep. And the kid is like picking up phone. He's got a little meaner as a result of what happened to him.
Yeah, because of what happened to him. He is kind of
PTSD.
Like a little PTSD, a little insular. He's kind of drawn in on himself and just kind of...
He fights people all the time. Yep. And he keeps picking up these phones that are ringing, and he's like, I'm sorry, I can't help you. Because all these ghosts are coming to him for help.
Right.
But now, it seems like it's tied to the Grabber, who is somehow back, and the Grabber has got his psychic eyes on the sister, who has psychic abilities.
Well, he wants revenge.
And can sort of be manipulated by her when she's dreaming.
Yep.
And she has a crush who like goes with them.
I thought that was a fun idea.
That was a nice touch. And then the camp leader, played by Damian Bashir, a guy we really liked.
Yes.
I forget where I know him from in particular.
A ton of stuff. He's one of those actors.
But they discover some history in that camp that leads to their history.
Yep.
And have a nice there's a nice redemption arc for their father that I kind of thought was really well done.
I thought I like that actor who plays. I mean,
he's from Lost.
He's great on Lost.
Yeah.
He's great in a lot of stuff. Jeremy Davies. But I think this came down to execution, and I think they handled it really well.
It's done really well.
It's got a unique kind of like they do her dreamlike sequences in this kind of graininess, And I was telling you this, and it was kind of a little off-putting on the small screen, but you were saying
I saw
the
the
big
theater,
screen,
and it feels normal.
Yeah,
there.
and I can certainly see this, and I need to rewatch this on my larger screen. I just was sick over the weekend, so I was just like, I'm staying in bed.
Yeah.
But I think if you liked the first one, this is kind of like a home run.
Yeah.
I mean,
the first one is based on the Joe Hill story. The second one is kind of invented from whole cloth, right?
Yeah, but it's Scott Derrickson and
Cargill. Yeah, same people.
They are good as a team.
Yeah, they are.
And they write with each other, and they kind of play off of it. It is a very cohesive, very well-executed film. Mm-hmm. I dug it.
You and I both also saw Frankenstein, the new one by Guillermo del Toro.
You saw it in theaters. I wish I saw it in theaters, but it hit Netflix this weekend, and I was like, okay, sure.
It is stunningly beautiful.
It is.
It's true-ish to the book.
Yeah, definitely.
But he added a few things. For one, Mia Goth plays his first his mother.
First his mother.
And then his brother's bride.
Right.
Who he has like a flirtation and love affair with.
Yep.
And she also has kind of a love affair with the monster.
Yep.
And that was an interesting character, interesting change. And then Christoph Waltz plays a German industrialist who is interested in funding the research of the monster for his own reasons.
Correct.
Which are pretty easy to spot.
Yeah. I didn't think that this movie was complex.
No.
But it was kind of playing with the story a little bit, and it's just the execution that Del Toro is able to accomplish.
It does take a lot of it takes place. Frankenstein is telling the story to a captain of a ship that is stuck in the ice.
Yep.
Which is true to the books.
Yeah.
And they have the Frankenstein's monster is out there basically.
He's just been like hounding Victor
him
for a while,
and he's like coming and killing all these sailors, tearing the boat up. Like it's
at first when it kind of opens with like an action piece and kind of a second, and I was like, oh dang, we're going full on crazy at the beginning, and then it kind of ebbs back.
He
a little
tells
bit
the story
into
of himself,
and it was very engrossing and very kind of just like really well told.
The bits of his lab, they're just like covered in viscera and body parts.
Yeah,
that's the lab is a great set.
It is. It was a really good set. I thought the effects work was really good with Frankenstein.
Yep.
I know that they actually built that damn ship.
Yep.
They did not. Del Toro did not want a CGI thing. He wanted actors to interact with something. Mm-hmm. You could tell.
Yep.
It was funny. We were watching, and my wife was like, the ship looks really real. The actors look a little fake. And I was like, whatever, I'm in on it. But I thought Oscar Isaac did an amazing job as kind of you have sympathy for him, but you can recognize that he is like an egotistical bastard.
Yeah.
I love that.
He destroys a lot of lives.
Oh, yeah. And his father was played by Charles Dance.
Yeah, and he's a monster.
He's a monster. And it's kind of that cycle.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we're destined to repeat a lot of what came before.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I was in it, and then they started telling the monster's perspective and his story.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, this is great.
Yeah.
Jacob Elordi does an amazing job.
Yeah, he's great.
I've seen him in a couple of things, Saltburn, and he was in Priscilla, which she played. He's good. He's great here.
He is. He's fantastic. This whole cast is great.
The sequence with like him kind of finding a friend in a person, was good. Really good.
Yeah.
Go see it. I don't think it's in theaters anymore, right?
It's not. It was only for like a couple weeks.
Yeah, because Netflix doesn't do anything beyond like 2 weeks,
which is too bad because it's great on the big screen.
But
it's still really good.
It's on Netflix. It's free if you've got it. It's not free, but whatever.
Yeah.
Press play. It's entirely worth it.
Yep.
I think it is probably one of Del Toro's best films.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
I need to watch his Pinocchio. I've never seen his Pinocchio.
I haven't seen that. I actually haven't seen Shape of Water, so.
Shape of Water's good.
Yeah.
I don't think it deserved the Oscar, but it's good.
Okay, all right. You and I have been watching It, Welcome to Derry on HBO Max. I was skeptical. And in fact, I was not super into the first episode.
Well, the trailers basically said, okay, we're getting the same thing.
The trailer looks like another iteration of It. It's just happy kids in the 50s. It is not that. They're definitely doing some more, bringing in Dick Halloran from The Shining.
Yep.
And giving a little backstory to him and having him be involved in this. Well, he's so messed up in The Shining, and now we know why.
Yeah. He definitely has seen some shit, even more so because his time in Derry. But yeah, I was really impressed with the first issue. I thought, okay, it's Andy Muschietti directing. Yeah. It was a lot of kind of the jump scares and the kind of stuff we got from the movies.
And it's good jump scares. Yeah, like the monster designs are good.
There was nothing wrong with it, and there were a couple of things, and then the ending of the first episode kills a lot of people.
They kill a bunch of characters.
And I was like, oh, well, that's not what I was expecting at all. Yeah. So, okay, you've got me for at least another episode.
Yeah.
And then the second episode really kind of like, okay, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I've not seen that before, so it's kind of doing what they did with that Castle Rock show.
I was going to say, Castle Rock was sort of similar. It's like touching on a lot of Stephen King things in oblique ways.
And I thought that was an interesting thing, but like bringing in characters from King's stuff, focusing on Derry.
Well, and they mentioned the Shawshank Penitentiary.
Oh, yeah, Shawshank.
Like they're definitely, this is Stephen King's world.
But I like that they're also focusing in on how Derry messes with people.
Yes.
Like the
Derry
town
is itself a character. Yes.
Yeah, Derry itself is a character, and it is kind of infected and kind of given everyone these like sense of malice and like there's hate here.
Yeah.
And it's only a few people. Like the kids are. There are some kids who are good.
The reveal in, I think it's the third episode, about the airman whose name I can't remember, who is
the dad
of one of the kids,
right?
That basically his amygdala is damaged, and so he can't feel fear, which makes him a perfect weapon.
That's why he's brought in on this.
That was a great reveal, and I'm like, oh, and the reveal of how he figured that out by testing and by sending people after, like that was really good, and that they were kind of both smart guys. The general.
Yeah, I think he's a general played by James Remar.
James Remar is really good. He is the one. He had an encounter as a child with the creature.
Yep.
And now he wants to capture it as a Cold War weapon, essentially.
Basically, to use against
the Russians.
The Russians.
And to do that, he's brought in Dick Halloran as a psychic.
Yep.
And then this other guy who is immune to fear and therefore cannot be affected by Pennywise's weaponry.
And I will say,
good idea.
It's a great idea. The third episode, they go back to the kids a little bit more.
Yep.
And we get a great chase sequence.
That graveyard chase sequence on bikes was such a great kids on bikes moment.
But I like that they're not giving us Pennywise.
No.
He's there.
He's there.
Like,
the presence is there.
Feeling.
But we haven't actually seen him yet.
And I think
although the bit where the girl who has like the psychic powers is in the grocery store and the guy keeps popping up behind her, that is Pennywise.
Yes.
It's just a different actor.
Yep.
That was creepy and very effective.
Yeah. All the kind of weird sequences are extremely well done.
Yeah.
And they are going for broke on kind of the grotesquerie, and the visual effects are really, really good.
There's that bit, Nick, in It Chapter 2 where the guy goes to the old woman's house.
Yes.
And the old woman is Pennywise.
Yep.
And she is just acting weird and you see it. That's kind of what that grocery store sequence is like. So there's definitely some stuff nodding to the movies, but there's a lot of stuff that's not.
This makes me want to go rewatch the It
kind of me too, yeah.
And I'm like, I know I'm not. I
liked but didn't love them.
Right. That's kind of where I was too, and I feel like I'm going to get to that place again. But this has kind of recharged that kind of in me. I thought I was done with it.
This Welcome to Derry is to it as Andor is to Rogue One.
Yeah. It's the
better version of it.
Agreed.
Yeah. And if you happen to love the movies, you should really like the show.
Yeah. But don't sleep on this one. This show is being surprisingly fun.
I'm shocked because after that first episode, I'm like, it's not really going to do anything for me. But no, I'm totally in.
Yeah.
However, it is not my favorite thing I watched this week.
No, your favorite thing I need to sit down with. Cause
so I'm not going to spoil anything on this one because I don't want to spoil anything. I'm not even going to give premise. But the new show Pluribus, which has 2 episodes on Apple TV.
Yep.
No longer Apple Plus. They got a whole new logo and everything. These guys... This is a Vince Gilligan who did Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Before that, wrote amazing X-Files episodes.
Yep.
With Ray Seahorn, who was a big part of Better Call Saul.
Okay.
She is the lead actress. He basically created this to give... he was creating this and then realized originally the lead character was going to be a guy, and then he realized that Ray Seahorn was the perfect character, and he basically tailored it to her.
Okay.
And he basically said, look, we can't tell anybody anything. I want this to be a big surprise. I don't want anybody to know what it's about. So the trailer doesn't give away what it is.
Okay.
The log line doesn't really give away much of what it is. The log line is like, the most miserable human on Earth has to deal with the plague of happiness.
Right. That's what the trailer is.
Yes.
Because I did watch the trailer.
What I will say is, this is post-apocalyptic sci-fi in a way. And It reminds me of, it's got that vibe of like Lost, of like the big questions, but like, remember how Lost was like a higher level production quality than we usually get on sci-fi?
Yeah, 100%.
And then also there's a show, I don't think a lot of people saw this show, but Peacock did a show called Mrs. Davis that was I think it was a J.J. Abrams show. It was about AI.
Okay.
And it had this, it was wild and weird, and this feels a little bit like that, but better, considerably better. Vince Gilligan is a visually impressive filmmaker. He directs the first two. He knows how to write characters. He knows how to tell stories. The premise of this is really interesting. I haven't seen something in quite this way. Oh my god, what would I do in this situation is great in this. I was glued to this. I started watching this at like 12:30 at night and watched 2 episodes and went to bed super late because I wanted to know I wanted every single minute of it that I could get. This is going to be moment one video watching for me as soon as each week.
So here's the question: will my wife like this, or do I need to watch this by myself?
She might like this. I don't know.
All right, she does the sci-fi on occasion. It's not her favorite thing,
but the thing is, like, he has elevated sci-fi. It's like it's got the same character strength and style that like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul did, but using that approach to tell a sci-fi story.
Yeah. Okay.
It's fantastic.
I'm going to try it out.
This has been a great year for TV.
Yeah.
This is easily my number one show right now. I can't see anything else taking it.
Okay.
Unless they drop the ball horribly, but this I like better than The Bear. I like better than Andor season 2. Like, I really love this show.
Okay.
And would recommend everybody give it a watch. I'm dying to talk about it with people, and I need more people to watch it.
Okay, I will watch this.
All right, that'll do it for us this time. We'll be back with more next time. And until then, yo Joe.
Roguecast is a weekly podcast broadcast from Rogues Gallery Comics and Games in Round Rock, Texas. You can find us online on Facebook and at www.roguesgallerytx.com and email us comments or questions at roguesgallerytx@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.